Hey, what's up everybody? Video 44 coming at you in another video. Alright, I'm making this video for a second time because I got the 2 second round picks wrong. You have no idea what I'm talking about, but you're about to. So the Boston Celtics and the Portland Trail Blazers came to a deal. Drew Holiday is being sent back to Portland along with 2 second round picks for Anthony Simons. For the life of me, I don't know what Portland's doing at all. I don't know what they're doing. I know what Boston's doing. Boston is getting rid of a 35-year-old dude on a very massive contract. That's what they're doing. What Boston is doing beats me. Or rather, what Portland's doing beats me. That's what I'm trying to say. Portland, to me, is in a very unique situation because I know they have a defensive lineup that they're really excited about. And adding Drew Holiday to it on paper looks great, but Drew Holiday's on a very, very serious contract, man. A rather difficult one to foresee being a good contract if you're the Portland Trailblazers, because he's 35 years old. He's coming off an injury season, his low season since his rookie season, and now you got him off for like $35 million a year or something of that nature. So when you consider what it is that ultimately Portland is trying to do, you like what it looks like on paper, but for their books, they got significantly less flexible. They got older, and to top it all off, they gave up 2 second-round picks in order to do it. This is when you talk about trying to make up for mistakes you made in the past. They should have never traded Drew Holiday in the first place. Once they acquired him from the Milwaukee Bucks, they should have kept him. I told them that. I said that when they did it. I said I wouldn't trade Drew Holiday, I'd trade somebody else. And they messed around and traded Drew Holiday, sent him to the Celtics for just injury-prone dudes, and they've regretted it ever since, just like I told them they would the day they did it. So, yeah, now they're trying to make up for it by 2 years later, when he signs a massive contract, after he signed a massive contract, going to trade for it as if it's the same value. It's not the same value. The Drew Holiday you had was on a very solid contract. The Drew Holiday you're getting is on a terrible one, and he's 2 years older. So, yeah, I just, Portland, confuses me sometimes. I tell you, I think they're in a very good position to trade for Giannis Antetokounmpo, even though I don't think most people see that coming. The Blazers do have Milwaukee's first round picks, and Milwaukee should be trying to trigger a rebuild. So my thinking is they should try to make a play for Giannis, because Milwaukee should be eager to make that deal. Plus, of course, they made that deal for Dame, so they know one another. And that's usually a good sign that teams are willing to do business with one another again. So I think that's what Portland's intention should be right now, is to reunite Giannis and Drew. I don't know how Giannis and Drew feel about that, because Giannis literally pushed for the Dame trade that sent Drew to Portland initially. So now he's supposed to join Drew in Portland. I don't really know how about that, but they have won a championship together. Giannis probably should know it by this point. At this point, he should have never asked his organization to do that, and he hasn't been in a winning situation since. So maybe reuniting with Drew Holiday is just what he needs, and that's one way to look at it. If you're the Portland Trailblazers, maybe this somehow can be an incentive to make Giannis want to come to Portland. So that's just my mind going a million different directions. Looking at what Portland's doing, I'm not really sure what they're thinking, but I can tell you they should likely want to do that. I think that Portland needs to move on from the Ayton contract as fast as they can. I do kind of like the idea of Drew Holiday and Jeremy Grant on the same team with Klingon. Now all of a sudden you got a trio of elite defensive players. Maybe they can address their defense further with the 11th overall pick, although I think they need to get some shooting on their team, especially since they traded away one of their best shooters. But Drew Holiday is a pretty good shooter too, so I don't think they're hurting too bad there. But Drew's looked really old. last year. And at 35 years of age, he is old for NBA standards. And when you really consider it, picking him up on a 4-year deal from here is not a good thing, especially if you're giving away a young guy in, well, semi-young, entering his prime, Anthony Simons. He's still in his 20s on a 2-year deal. I would rather have the flexibility that comes with Anthony Simons in this situation, unless my intention is to place Giannis next to Drew. Which, if they're thinking like I'm thinking, that should be the dream. That should be a dream of reuniting that NBA championship duo, putting him, surrounding him with all these youngsters in Portland, if they can retain any of their young players, because I would want all of them from Milwaukee, and go forward that way, man. So that's what I think Portland should be doing. I don't know what Portland is going to do, but that's what they should be doing. That should be the vision here. So, yeah, and as far as Boston's concerned, I made a big point in the video that you guys will never see. It should be about creating more salary. Maybe finding themselves some matches for their long contracts that are aligned with the 2 years that Simon is on, so they can have so much money coming off their books 2 summers from now. Or have expiring contracts to trade when Jason Tatum comes back. Because I don't think he's playing next season at all. With him going down with an Achilles injury. I personally, if I'm the Boston Celtics, don't ask him to play a single game next year. I bring him back in 26, 27, and I have a great situation to bring a brand new, solid, flexible unit around him. That doesn't have anything to do with Jaylen Brown's $300 million contract. As I said, for which you will not hear. The Boston Celtics currently have $600 million wrapped up in 2 basketball players. One of them just went down with an Achilles. I'm turning the other one into about 4 or 5 pieces, because if the other one goes down with an Achilles, now you're talking about sending the Celtics into the Stone Ages. So that's my thing. I got a healthy Jaylen Brown on a $300 million contract. I will be moving him just to give myself a chance at things not going completely wrong if simply 2 players go down with injuries and don't come back the same person. That's a beyond nightmare, especially for a new ownership group that has clearly said they want to save money. They want to save salary. So the vision for that idea, coupled with them losing Jason Tatum to an injury that could potentially have him not coming back the same player, tells me that Jaylen Brown doesn't have long for Boston. Not at all. So they were saying that before Jason went down with an injury, and then Jason went down with that injury. No. You got to move Jaylen Brown if you're the Boston Celtics, and I think they're going to do that. So, this was a very good move for the Boston Celtics, giving themselves an opportunity to shave salary in a very, very demonstrative way. And I think they should be rather pleased with what they see there going forward. So, yeah, that's what I see. They're going to probably move Jaylen Brown. They're probably going to move Porzingis. I don't know if they see the urgency to do it right now, but I don't think Jaylen Brown going to be there for much longer, man. I don't think he's going to be on the team when Jason Tatum get back. That's what I will say. I don't think so. So, that's pretty much what I got to say, man. Yeah. I can't believe the Boston Celtics were able to get 2 second-round picks in this situation. Talk about psychologically winning a battle as it pertains of valuing what you have versus what it is you're getting back. Portland doesn't appear to realize that they acquired a salary dump. They paid for Drew Holiday to name when they should have been being paid for taking back his contract. So instead of having 2 second-round picks going out of their pocket so that they could acquire Drew Holiday, the Celtics should have been sending 2 second-round picks to Portland so that they would take them. Smart GMs versus stupid ones. PDO 44, I thank you all for watching. I'm out.